What's good, y'all? What up, what up? Now, I've been thinking about a lot today, and basically, when I get on here, I don't really be talking a whole lot about myself. So, I'm thinking that I'm gonna start talking a little bit more about myself, give y'all a little backstory on me. Because, it's just, my thing is I wasn't trying to give nobody clout. I was not trying to give nobody clout. And, I don't want to give nobody no kind of light on my platforms, nobody that I don't deal with no more. But I realize and understand that that's a part of healing, is to not be, is to not be fucking feel bad basically about what you've been through, and like letting it be okay to let yourself talk about what you've been through and not feel like you're giving somebody clout, you're giving somebody recognition and shit like that, because they know that you got a gift. Okay, they know that you got platforms, and they hoping honestly that you do give them a mention or something one day. And like, you just don't be wanting to get at to people, but you realize that it's like just basically how briefly it meant for them to be in your life is basically how briefly it's meant for them to be on your platforms. So I gave y'all a little story time about me feeling like, family and shit didn't have my best interest, and I feel like my family was fake as fuck. Okay, so here's the thing, y'all. Like, a couple months ago, like right before I decided to leave my marriage because, I had a disgusting spouse, and like right before I could leave, like there was just like some weird shit going on, right? There was like, we would break up, get back together, and then we break up again, and then he'd be talking about, he'd bring me divorce papers. I'd happily sign it because, I was tired of the bullshit. So I'd happily sign it, and then he'd take it, and then he'd tell me that he doesn't like me because of how much it doesn't really affect me that he's out of my life, right? And then, like, he'll come back like a week later talking about, oh, let's get back together. And, my dumb ass is all like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let's try it out. This is the very absolute last chance that you'll ever get. And see, he thought I was playing, but I wasn't. I knew that was the last chance that I was going to give him. And then, I don't know, he was just like trying to make me go crazy on purpose. Like, he'll love bomb me, tell me that he want to be with me, and then like the next night he'll be like, I don't think that we should be together no more, just confused as hell. And then talking about, like his gay experiences that he had, like with his siblings, fucking incesty ass little motherfucker. Like this gay shit that he had with his siblings, like with his little brother, how he would touch his little brother when he was younger because, he was touched when he was younger. And, like he didn't know if he was closet gay, if he was bisexual, because like he's the type of guy where like if you're gonna fuck him, I don't care who you are, he's gonna ask you for some butt play. He's gonna ask you to play with his ass. My ex, he's gonna ask you to play with his ass on some, not to say that being gay is wrong or whatever. If that's what you choose to do with your life path, then that's your life path. But like, don't sit up here and be no closet. Just go ahead and come out, y'all. Like, don't nobody got no more time for no more closet shit. Just go ahead, come out, be who you are. And see, he couldn't do that. So I always kind of felt like he was a little closet gay because he always wanted me to play with his ass during sex. And then he was terrible at sex. Terrible. And for the whole 7 years I was with him, he was terrible at it. Terrible. And then, like, but my dumb ass thought that it'd be okay to, just, hey, let's just, keep trying to be together. Let's just trying to do this thing. And then it was like he was trying to make me go crazy. It's like, how you going to say within 2 weeks' time, like the first week, let's get back together. Second week, let's get a divorce. Then the week after that, a couple days after that is let's get back together. And then after that, it's like, okay, well, we actually gonna do this divorce, because like every time we would argue, he would always find a reason, and I'd always have to tiptoe on what I say, so that I don't have to worry about him getting so mad at me, and he makes an excuse to go to his mom's house, in which I knew he wasn't going to his mom's house. I didn't much care. I was just so gone in how much I was caught up in that kind of life that I didn't care if whether he was cheating on me or not. I just, still wanted to say that I had a husband. I just wanted to say that, because that's how you raised in a Christian family. Like, no matter what y'all going through in marriage, y'all have to stay together. Y'all have to be together and shit. And yeah, that didn't live long at all. And like, y'all have to be together and stay together, and y'all have to like let the other person do what they do and shit like that, even if they trying to kill you or trying to have sex with everybody and bring you back every kind of fucking STD that they can, and they privates looking all blue, purple, and pink and orange and nasty colors and stuff. And but yeah, just stay with that person, right? No. People always kept telling me in my family, oh, you should stop messing with those cards, Toya. You should start messing with, those crystals, Toya. You should stop messing with all this shit. And it's like, well, do y'all even know the principle, the real meaning of this stuff? I mean, yes, there's an occult side to it, but there's a good side to it as well. Just like in natural universe, there's a good and there's a bad. There's a good and an evil. There is evil in this world. There is occult in this world. But there's also good too, which is what I practice. And there's nobody, they was always telling me to stop doing it because it was just so bizarre, right? And so like it was just family coming at me, and then it was the ex coming at me, and then motherfuckers was constantly trying to make me jealous over the summer and shit. But the real like tea that I wanted to spill today is the fact of, after he so-called left, I think that was on the second week, all of a sudden, like, my property manager at the time, Joe, did not tell me that, there was an inspector coming over, like a bug inspector coming over, because we had these box elders that would always sit on the side of our duplex. They would congregate on the side of our duplex. So, like, but he told us that we had to take care of any pest control problems. But then next thing you know, like, there's some guy, okay, he couldn't have been more than like 22, youngest 18, and he came and he sprayed gases into my windows. Not on the siding. No, not on the siding. I seen where he was spraying his little gas gun. It was spraying into my windows, and my windows were closed, okay? These gases were leaking through the window. They were like pouring through, like if you just blew smoke out of your mouth. That's how it was coming through my fucking windows. And I'm just thinking, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, it was probably, like for pest control. Maybe the property manager just decided to take it upon himself. I didn't even go out there and say nothing to him, y'all. Like, I used to be that much toxic to myself. Like, I would see that this something dangerous gas come through the window and just think that, like, oh, well, people know what they're doing. Like, nobody's trying to hurt me. I didn't even go outside and confront this kid. But then all of a sudden, the next day, I get a text from my property manager saying, hey, I'm sorry I didn't give you the notice, but, like, I had a bug inspector come over there and spray, because I saw bugs and shit like that. The only kind of pest control, but the reason why I thought that, I didn't have to do nothing about it is because he has done pest control in the past. Like, he took care of the mice. He set up mice traps. At least I think they were mice traps. I don't fucking know. I don't know, to be honest. And it's just like, and then to be quite honest, me and my ex were still living together at the time. And like, me and my kids got extremely sick. Like, super sick. We felt like we were gonna die. And I'm not exaggerating it, like how people say, oh, I felt like I was gonna die, and they're just fucking exaggerating it. No, I felt like my organs were shutting down. I felt like they were. But we ended up pulling right through it, like the sickness didn't take me or my kids. My ex came home and he even got it. So that makes me even wonder, like, I know that he was already cheating and shit, and he already knew that I was going to leave him. And so that makes me wonder if, like, he probably didn't even know that they was trying to take him out too, but he ended up being a part of their group anyway when they was trying to take him out too. Like, they had already sent somebody to his job for him to work with, and then that was a girl that he was messing around with behind my back. And women's intuition is strong as hell. I'm sorry, man, but our intuition is stronger than y'all's. A woman always know. Yes, men too, I'm not gonna lie, but it speaks to us strongly. We always know. If your gut is telling you that somebody is cheating on you, y'all, they are. If your gut is telling you somebody's cheating on you, they are. Trust your gut. That's the universe. That's the universe's direct way of physically, tangibly getting your attention. Trust your gut. So I just straight up knew, and he's all like, oh, she's gonna, leave me anyway. So I ended up leaving, and then I see like all these messages that he sent to the landlord, right? I'm seeing all these messages that he sent to the landlord being mad as shit that I'm not there no more because, they was trying to coerce me into something. They're like, hey, you just upped and left. Well, you're going to lose the place. You're going to lose your spot on the lease if you don't come back. Trying to get me to come back to the house where they was shooting gas in the windows and shit and trying to fucking kill me and my entire family. It's like, no, I'm not coming back at all. And then they tried to screenshot it to me to be like, oh, well, we're, on some like, oh, well, it's not fake. Here's a screenshot. But then I read past, the part where it said y'all gonna be out on May 1st. Like, I read past that part and I saw just the text messages before between my ex, because his mom sent it to me because he's a fucking little mama's boy, bitch. And like, and she took a picture on his phone and sent it to me. And I didn't even pay attention to the whole part where, we had to be out by the 1st or whatever. But I just read, what was before that. And I was just seeing just how mad they was, just talking back and forth to each other. He's all like, she's not even here no more. I can't even get a hold of her. He's like, what? Where did she go? Like, they're both having that conversation. Like, where the fuck is she? Like, you as a property manager, why the fuck are you worried about where I went? It should just be a done deed up. You fucking, it's a month-to-month lease. You basically left the lease. So, now I get to rent it out type shit. It should be like more along the lines of that and not like, what, where'd she go? Like, have you heard from her at all? Like, they was both just having a conversation, about my whereabouts. Like they was fucking boyfriend and boyfriend type shit. I don't know. It was just weird as fuck how they was just talking about my whereabouts. And so I told him that, I'd be out before the 1st. I'll come back and get my shit. Next thing you know, I'll go back there to get all my stuff, right? And then on my way back to, my destination, which was clean the far fuck away from that destination, a good few hours, I get a flat tire on the highway. My tires didn't have this issue on the way there. I checked my tire pressure. all the time because I had a vehicle before the vehicle that I have now, and my tires used to always get low on air, and that was just because they were older tires, and I never really got them changed. I did sometimes, but they were always used tires, so they're always going to have defects, and so I would always be losing air. So that always taught me, before you take a long trip, check the air pressure in your tires. And that's what I did, and my tires was fine before I left. Sometimes, I don't even get my gauge or go to Quick Trip and, try to check the tire pressure. I'll just, give them a couple good, like knuckle smacks. Punch the tire a little bit, not like hard to, like damage my shit, but just punch it, like this, like knuckle run it, knuckle punch it. And, that would tell me, I've had vehicles that did that. So I've been able to tell in the past if whether I needed tire, like air pressure or not. Sometimes I don't have to use my gauge. I just, give it a few taps. And my tires was good. I took the long trip back to the old place, got the rest of my shit. And then I took the long trip back. And then next thing I know, my fucking tire went out on the highway. And so, I pulled off. And, and I waited for some people who was in my new area that I knew, some family that I knew, the very few, 2 fucking family members I got left, and some friends. And they all came out and they helped me out, putting my spare tire on. And I'm just like, I don't even know how this happened. It's like the way my tire went out, I should have been stranded on the highway. But my fucking rim, okay, made it the whole way to the exit. And the exit was like probably 2-3 miles up, and the rim was already grinding against the pavement. And I'm going 70 miles an hour. I'm thinking that this is like a brake, like pad issue or something like that. I'm like, wait, let me get off the highway because I got to check. Next exit, I got to check. And so I get off at the exit. And I found out the whole tire's gone, and I've just been driving on only rim. And it's front wheel drive. It's front wheel drive. So I could have easily lost control. And I didn't. Thank the Most High. And then it's like, ever since I've never been back there, it's just like, I just felt like it was something bad trying to happen to me when I was there. Like before I left, the Most High asked me to humble myself before him, and I did. I'm like, I understand, God. I understand. It was just like this wave of freaking sacred energy that just came over me and said, humble yourself. I'm getting you prepared. And, it felt like I was about to go to war. I don't know if y'all ever experienced this. Maybe some military is watching this or something like that. Have y'all ever experienced, like just casually just chilling, and then next thing you know, like your sergeant or somebody important says, get ready for war. Come in and say, get prepared. We going to war. If you've ever had that feeling before, then you know exactly the feeling that I'm talking about. It felt like I was for real about to get drafted into the military. Like it said, Most High just came into my soul and said, prepare yourself, humble yourself. So that's what I did. And then next thing I knew, I had hunches that my ex-husband was cheating on me. I had hunches that motherfuckers was trying to kill me, because who just shoots gases in somebody's house when you're supposed to be spraying at where these bugs actually are, if you actually was fucking pest control, in which it wasn't. And come to find out, earlier in the year, I found out that there was, that they was, what do you call it when, somebody, passes away and they leave a will to they kids and they next of kin and shit like that. Like they was, distributing. I found out later that they was distributing around that time. And then my mom, so-called, was supposed to be trying to get in contact with me. She was telling everybody else to contact me, but not contacting me herself. Next thing I know, I found out, like evidence about there being a will. And then the same cousins of my so-called mother are the same ones who duped my grandmother, which is their aunt, my so-called mom's mom. They duped her already out of a house and 250 grand before. To the point where it's like, you know what? She was like, I don't want to deal with y'all ever again type shit. And she was like, I don't even want the money type shit just because of y'all. Just because of how y'all is. And how y'all trying to do dirty and shit. I have an aunt who passed away before I was born. And guess what? The ones who duped my grandmother, that was around the same time my aunt had passed away. I never met that aunt before. So I'm wondering if that could be why, because she said it has something to do with, like my grandma said, it has something to do with either her late daughter or something concerning her late daughter and family members. Something like that. But anyway, so yeah, and now, I'm just chilling, got my new crib, finally starting to get some furniture, I'm on an up and up. So I just thought I should share that story because I'm hoping that one day, like, everybody who got duped by these so-called family members of ours, if you ever see my video, I really hope that if you ever got duped and you didn't deserve it, that you get whatever funds was duped from you returned to you. And I hope and pray that anybody who duped you in this situation, I pray that they go to prison or get death. Because obviously these motherfuckers ain't gonna stop. I have a feeling that, like, if you do it once and you're able to get away with it, you will do it again. As a criminal, you'll do it again. I feel like it's just time for good riddance on all of y'all. I don't care if you family. I don't care if you friends. I don't care if you an ex. I don't care if you a new friend of mine. I don't care if you so-called wanting to be calling yourself my new boyfriend. I don't give a fuck what you trying to call yourself regarding me and regarding anybody else that you would dupe. If you would dupe somebody out of something that is rightfully theirs and watch them struggle, you deserve to be rid of. You deserve for the universe to rid you. Rid you from society or your existence. Nobody's going to care at that point because you're a true criminal. Okay? All right. Let's get into this. Ancestors, spirit guides, light beings from the other side, please guide my reading. And Most High Father, keep anything that's negative away from this reading, away from here, and away from this live, away from my video. Let no toxicity or energy manipulation come through. In the Most High's name I pray. Amen. Ancestors, angels, spirit guides, please guide my reading for the collective. What can are any of the collective experiencing what I've experienced just a short 4 months ago? Somebody wish you gave up. There's some shit that you're doing that people don't like. Somebody can't stop loving you. You got some family members or some friends or a lover that you cut off. You sleep well. You get your sleeps. I have a feeling they don't, though. You get your sleeps because they're trying to attack your crown chakra. But your crown chakra might actually be too on point. If y'all been seeing a lot of purple, like a lot of like deep purple, just know that you're doing the right thing. And that your thought space is being protected as well. Because a lot of people don't have protected thought space. As they say, mental health is a new wealth. And you got this for a lifetime. You got this for a lifetime. You got mental health is the new wealth. You got a wealth in mental health for a lifetime. I also feel like with this life, in this lifetime, it's going to be way more than you expected it to be. It's going to be way more on the up and up. It's going to be way more inclusive. It's going to be way more loving. I don't know. I feel like this card also has to do with, you know, like maybe a different lifetime where this card holds a lot of energy. Lots of energy. So they wish you gave up because they can't stop loving you, but you over here sleeping well because your crown chakra is protected and you got this for a whole lifetime. They probably gonna love you this whole lifetime too. You're an entrepreneur, or you want to be. If you're thinking about it, you should. Too much information. Sometimes it's hard being an entrepreneur because it is a lot of information. But it's worth it. Because what are you going to do with a lifetime of protected crown chakra? That means that all your ideas and all your energy spaces are protected. So if you're trying to be an entrepreneur and you feel like it's too much information, don't feel like it's too much information. You're on the right path. Just keep going. Because that's the key. The key to being an entrepreneur is never giving up. Because you're going to hear no for a while. You're going to hear just give up. Like somebody wishing that you just gave up. But of course you won't. Because entrepreneurs here on the table. That means that you're meant for this. So don't mess around and dick around on your time and think that, oh, it's too much information, you know, so I'm just gonna sleep on it. And even though you over here getting your sleeps because your crown chakra is being protected, and sometimes you might even find yourself being a little more tired than you're used to. You might even find yourself like taking naps and you don't take naps. Or you might find yourself taking longer naps than usual. That's just because your crown chakra is being protected. Right now through Leo season. So this season is just about to end and go into Virgo season. So we're the Lion's Gate is going to be closing soon. So it's going to feel heavy. You know, it's going to feel heavy on you. But you're still an entrepreneur. So in the coming winter months, you know, in the winter solstice months, even if you don't get snow in your area, it's not going to feel like too much information. I mean, honestly, this might be other people that you deal with. Try to keep your ideas and stuff to yourself. Like, Basically, only take it to places where you need to take it to. So let's say that you got to get your LLC. Only deal with people who will give you your LLC certificate. Don't go be like, oh, hey, buddy, like this, that, and the third, and be trying to tell them about what you're trying to do with, but at the same time, I don't really want to tell y'all what to do, though. I don't want to tell y'all what to do. I'm just saying, people might feel like that it's too much. It's too much information that you're telling them. So, I don't know. That's up to you about what you want to do, as an entrepreneur, because you need all of this information. You need all this information to be able to gain your footing and gain your role and to gain your prosperity that you're trying to get out of being an entrepreneur. You're going to need all that information. Some people feel like it's too much information. But, sounds like a them problem to me. Morning. Somebody might say this to you often. Maybe you get too much information in the morning. Maybe sometimes during the wee hours of the night, your spirit guides are keeping you up because they have to give you all this information because, you've been so busy throughout your day that they have to give you all this information. And sometimes it do feel like too much, but they have to give it to you. And the best time to catch you is, when it's the wee hours of the morning, when the world is the least active, when society is least active. That's the wee hours of the morning. They don't miss you. For some of y'all, this is true. Okay? Even though they wish you gave up and they can't stop loving you, this is probably why they don't miss you, is because they can't stop loving you. What is there to miss about somebody that you can't stop loving? Missing you is probably just going to keep somebody in like this dark state of mind where they're trapped within themselves, wanting the worst for you, wanting bad for you, and then they're thinking bad on you, and then that ain't doing nothing but fucking up their crown chakra and letting all kinds of bad thoughts come into them. And so as a man thinketh, so shall he is. So I'm paraphrasing y'all. And so they not trying to miss you, because missing somebody is honestly, that's a mental emotion. It's not so much as a body emotion, it's a mental emotion. I mean, it starts mental and then it goes to like the heart. It starts in crown and then goes to the heart chakra. So they may truly not miss you, but that's only because they can't stop loving you. Which one? Which one y'all want to do, huh? I feel like you got two options in career. Which one you want to do? Because whichever choice you make, it's going to be fire. It's going to be lit. It's going to be awesome. It's just whichever one you choose, commit to it. That's just general rule of thumb. Like if you're going to commit to something, if you're going to choose something, it's a good idea to commit to it, because like, why choose it? Why choose it at all? Which one? Whichever one you choose, I guarantee you, it's gonna be off the chain. It's gonna be banging. Like, it's gonna boom, and when it boom, it's gonna boom quick. It's just all about the commitment that's put into it. That's all. Beat. Some of y'all love the drums and music. I know I do. That's my favorite part of a whole song, is the drums, the bass. I love that part. Maybe try listening to, if you want, like you can listen to like more songs that have more bass, more beat, not so much as pitchiness, but more bass. Try to listen to some songs like that if you want to, or even maybe some healing frequencies, because the beat of healing frequencies usually always has a drum or two in there, and the drum is the deepest part of the sound. The drum is the deepest part of any music. So that might be a good option for you. This way. I feel like this is spirit leading you this way. Could be leading you right to my channel so you can get this message, so that you can know that the way that they're leading you is the way that you want. It is. I know that you're an entrepreneur and you're probably having a career change. Or maybe there's two things that you absolutely love to do and you just got to balance them. Maybe focus on one now, or focus on one for a season, focus on the other for a season, and then after that, try to schedule it out in the season coming. Because I know it's a lot of information. I'm an entrepreneur myself. It is a lot of information. But it's the things that you got to know. But just know that whichever way that they taking you is the way that you're supposed to go. You ain't got to worry about it being something that you didn't want. You ain't got to worry about, it being something that somebody can destroy. You ain't got to worry about, oh, well, I wonder if, like somebody's going to tell me that I can't. Somebody's going to tell me that I won't. Or somebody's going to say just that wrong thing that just makes my mentality for being an entrepreneur, because I've been doing it for so long, it just makes me break. Because some of y'all been entrepreneurs for like what, 2 to 5, 6 years? And you may not have had one successful business yet. And it kind of makes you feel like you're going to break. But you're not. You're not going to break. You're not. You're going to be okay. I promise you're going to be okay. You know what I think, y'all? I think I'm going to start advertising myself to business people who fuck with this world, who fuck with the whole energy and metaphysicality and sage and crystals and spiritual guidance. I think I might actually do that, y'all. I'm gonna start advertising myself to people who are already wealthy and who already have money, but it's hard maintaining your wealth when when your mental wealth isn't in order. You could have plenty of money, you could have plenty of endeavors that's working, but I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start advertising myself to those kinds of folks. So if anybody that y'all know who got their own business, bring them over here to my channel so I can help them understand that being a business owner, and dealing with life itself is manageable. I mean, yes, it's a different time right now. The planets are doing different things. There's all kinds of things being exposed. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So anybody that y'all know who is a business owner, they mess with universal properties and sage and crystals, all that, the light side of this kind of world, of the natural world. If they mess with that stuff and they believe in metaphysicality and all things spiritual and universal, and they're successful or wealthy, send them over here so that I can help them clear their mind up. Your mother and father, I said mother and father. I feel like whoever it is, it's probably both of them. It's probably both of them for you. What's going on with your parents? Or somebody that you see as parents? Oh, they made you suffer because they're jealous of your success? Get the fuck out of here. So that's why I was picking up on family. Let's see. That's exactly why I was picking up on family in this lifetime card. I was picking up on family too. It's a shame because some of y'all, your mother and father, wish that you gave up because they can't stop loving you. They literally treating you like y'all some kind of ex that got away. Did y'all stop fucking with y'all parents? And now they treating you like an ex that got away? Yeah, you can tell they incesty ass to go sit the fuck down somewhere. Because ain't nobody on that shit. Like, if your parents did not support you, if they did not support you, fuck them. Because you out here, you getting money, you getting bread. You out here, you getting money, you getting bread. And what? You ain't trying to take care of their ass? Because they tried to make you suffer? Because you in this energy? And they be trying to make you feel like it's too much information? And that's the dark side of this card, trying to make you feel like that's too much information. But the light side of this is the fact that spirit comes to you in the wee hours of the morning. That's why you can't sleep at night sometimes. That's why your sleeps is all off. That's why you're finding yourself like taking longer naps or just taking naps at all because you're not used to naps. Your naps is your sleep because you're an entrepreneur. And when you're an up-and-coming entrepreneur, you don't sleep very often. You don't. So trust me, y'all are not a failure, Mr. or Mrs. Entrepreneur or Miss Entrepreneur. Y'all ain't no failure because y'all been sleeping in a little longer and maybe, maybe you're an investor and you might be like, oh, and you wake up and you're like, oh man, I kind of missed out on that deal. My colleague got it or my opposition got it. That's okay. Because you out here and you riding around and you getting it. So to be quite honest, they got lucky to get it because you was going to be on it. So they got lucky to get it. But sometimes, like the universe will do you like that if they feel like, okay, you've been winning a lot. So now it's time for you to get a little extra sleep. So a couple little of your oppositions can, so a few of your opposers, your competition, can win some too. Because even though they're your competition, that don't necessarily mean that, y'all gotta hate each other or something like that. That don't necessarily mean that. I do not mean that. Because, you never know what kind of spirit guides they might have. You never know what kind of spirit guides they might have. Because they entrepreneurs too. They not trying to make you suffer. Because this card is up here and this card is down here. So they not trying to make you suffer. Your competition. You just got to get to them before, they get to it. But you can't be winning all of them, You got to let some of the other kids get some candy too. Remember Halloween? You got to let all the other kids get some candy too. Speaking of Halloween, y'all going to have a good Halloween this year. I don't know why. But I just feel it. I feel like y'all going to have a good, y'all going to do something big. Y'all going to have a big party this Halloween. Like, you're going to start to see, like, For whatever reason, some of y'all gonna start seeing a big change in just your overall personal life. Just in your overall personal life, you're gonna start to see big changes because around that time, so I'm gonna say around the fall, like late fall. That probably be considered what, late fall, or right in the dead center, October. But that's fall brings change. The leaves change, everything changes, everything transitions and gets ready for winter. Even if there is no winter, you still get a fall. I'm quite sure no matter where you at, you still gonna get a fall. Over here in the US, in the West, you still gonna get a fall. But you just may not get winter. There has to be a change season. You might live in a whole different part of the world, but then you still have a change season. Y'all have a season of change. Over here in the West, we call it fall. And something about your lifetime is going to start to change come this fall. Like, you're getting rid of all of the old right now, Mr. or Miss Entrepreneur. You're getting rid of all the old right now. I promise you, you are. It may not feel like it, and it may feel like, oh man, I'm slipping backwards. No, you're not slipping backwards. Your mind and your body, have to coexist with each other so that you can have this lifetime that's being awarded to you. There's something that you've been out there doing, Mr. or Miss Entrepreneur. There's something that you've been out there doing, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, Mr. or Mrs. Side Hustle. There's something that you've been out there doing that's paying off. And it's just like, you're going to have to sift through every single thing about you from the past before this can come to fruition. So you're not slipping backwards. You're not going back to who you used to be. It's just the fact that it all has to be filtered. All of it. It might feel like, oh, well, I already went through this, a couple months ago when I had my awakening. No, boo-boo. This is a grand awakening, which means that you're going to wake up like different times. I want to say several, because yeah, you're going to have to wake up several times because you've been sleeping well. So more than likely, every single time, even if it's a physical sleep and you're dreaming and you wake up the next day or in a couple hours, whatever, that's still part of your awakening. Because when you wake up, you might have something else. Like, okay, so you conquered this thing before you went to sleep. You go to sleep. You wake back up. Now you got another thing from your past that you got to conquer before you go to sleep. You conquer it. You go to sleep. You wake up. Now you got another thing from your past. You're just getting the little tricklets left of your past. You're not getting the brunt anymore, y'all. Because this mother and this father or family made you suffer because they were jealous. But Spirit got you. And they want you to listen to the beat of your heart. Listen to the drums, y'all. They with you. Spirit is with you. They just need you to go through every single little thing before you can have this life. Because let's say that maybe you might have like one freaking internal. I mean, like, the physical stuff can come later. The internal has to change first before the physical can come. The physical changes. So there's going to be things that they need you to change internally, because you could have just one little fucking tricklet left of your past and it fucks up this lifetime for you. Trust Spirit. They guided you this way. And you're like, this way? Well, what do you mean this way? Which one? And they like, don't worry about it. We got you. Don't worry about it. Stop worrying so hard. We got you. Just know that, I know that sometimes we come to you and we wake you up in the wee hours of the morning. We know we do. We know what you got going on the next day. We know that, you got competition out there. We know that you're an investor and that person just scooped up your property or your fucking deal. We know that we already knew that was going to happen. But guess what? Like, they got to win too. You're not the only person who got spirit guides. These people got to win too. They might be your competition, but shoot, we know they spirit guides. If they spirit guides is cool with us, then that means that we're going to have to set you down in a way that helps you out, which is sleeping. You might be oversleeping or, like doing stuff with your sleep that you've never done before, or having like really weird dreams or something, to where they just, making sure that, like you, that these other folks who out there, because you riding around and you getting it, they making sure that, hey, you can't take all the energy, even if you just starting your side hustle or your business. Like, they trying to make sure that, hey, like right now is a very sensitive time for mental health. Very sensitive time. So you can't be taking all the energy. I know you probably do your moon rituals. You probably clean all your crystals under the moon and use sage and use salt. You probably, like salt your entries. You probably burn protection candles and success candles. You do all of that, but some people ain't got to your point yet. So you got to share the energy. Not yours, but the universal energy. Because your ops, anybody who's going against you, like family or your mother and father who made you suffer because they jealous, well, that's completed anyway. Because I feel like most of y'all don't even fucking talk to these people no more. They not getting shit. The only abundance that they're getting come this fall, the only change in abundance that they're getting is the fucking shit that they sent out, the karma that they sent out for either other people or just the fuck shit that they've been doing, just hanging around, just doing their own fucking thing. And, when people ain't got to do shit to people to do fuck shit. They can just do fuck shit. That's the kind of shit that they get. That's their abundance that they're getting. That cycle's completed. Because I only see 3 cards out here about, some kind of past situation where some people did some bogus shit to you that ain't had shit to do with you. Had all to do with them because they jealous. 1, 2, 3. 3 is a number. 3 is a number of completion. It's not the number of completion. It is a number of completion. So, it's a number of completion. So you ain't even got to worry about them. They can't make you feel no type of way about yourself. And please don't go back into no past pattern of letting them. That's why you be having to sleep so often, because your crown chakra, they got to make sure that your crown chakra is on point. Because you might even have some people out in your field, your career field, whichever one you choose. You might have some people out there who remind you of your family, who remind you of your ex-lover, who remind you of your ex-friends and stuff like that. People that you don't fuck with no more. You might have some people like that in your lifetime because, like you got to be tested. And plus, they're their own person. There's other people out here who's just like these toxic motherfuckers. There's other people out here. There might even be people that look just like them, but not them, and they still do the same toxic shit that they do. And they might be in your career field. Don't worry about it, though, because this lifetime is yours. You got this wonderful lifetime of abundance coming. I mean, look at it. Crown chakra, lifetime, entrepreneur. It's like you got 3 cards that follow each other that talk about prosperity and career. Like, sometimes you might be thinking about how they wish you gave up. See, that's what I mean. This is why they ain't got shit coming for them. Because, right, like, this is what they want you to remember. They want you to remember that they wish you gave up. And they want you to remember that they can't stop loving you. They also want you to remember that they don't miss you. Or this could be like an old job or a spot that you maybe been trying to go back to that, you know, like the universe is saying, well, no, you're not going to go back to it, but we're going to let you find out on your own. It could be like an old job, an old boss, an old dealing that you used to do. And just know that if you're getting like dead ends, like I'm talking about literal dead ends, like literally ain't no other way around it. You can't really ask nobody about it. Like you ain't got the credentials for it type stuff or whatever anymore. And it's like they could be saying they don't miss you, and they could just honestly just be turning you away and just being like, oh, well, you know, we got somebody now. We got somebody to fill your spot. So, you know, like we don't need you here. We don't need you back. You know, you might have been thinking that, hey, you know, I can always go back to this place, or I can always go back to that deal, or I can always go back to that company, you know, or I can always, you know, go back to those colleagues. And it just might be like, well, we don't miss you because we found a replacement for you. They could just be wishing too that they wish you gave up, and they can't stop loving the work that you do. And that's probably why they replaced you. Just know that most of the time, when there's something that you truly, truly, really, really want, rejection is sometimes Spirit's way of protecting you. Because it wasn't going to go good anyway. This new person that they replaced you with, they don't even like him that much. They just didn't want you to come back and have all the glory. Because they probably don't even sleep. You sleep good. Because your crown chakra is on point. So you got a lifetime, a wonderful lifetime and entrepreneur are both together. So that means for this lifetime, you're going to be an entrepreneur. It's right here. You know, like flipping cards and stuff is also reading people's fate. And you've got lifetime and entrepreneur right next to each other, and crown chakra. Meaning that Spirit gonna always be with you to keep your crown chakra in check, because mental health is the new wealth. And without your mental health, you're not gonna be able to have this lifetime of being an entrepreneur and being extremely successful. Let Spirit guide you this way. Let them guide you. And don't be thinking about nobody from the past who try to make you suffer because they was jealous. You good. You got it. All right. I'm going to also be making some new cards too, y'all. I'm going to be making some new cards. I like drawing them up more than, you know, like getting like decks and stuff. Maybe it's just this deck, because I can't really ever find like the right time to use that deck. You know, I've got also, this is my, I didn't draw this one, but I made this one. And then I got this one, the Vision Quest. But I feel like that's more for like, yeah, that's for where we need to be, because I want to read for, you know, business people. So like I said, y'all know any business people, send them on over here so that I can, you know, like help them out with what they need to know spiritually, in business, in love, in life. But first, you know, an entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have one business, 2 side hustles, and a regular job, and I'm a mom. So I definitely understand, you know, what it's like to have multiple jobs at once. And then on top of that, being a business owner and wanting to franchise and build and create this empire, you know, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen, y'all. But make sure y'all hang out with me over here, okay? So that y'all can know, you know, how to handle these issues that come about in your life. Because that shit gets rough, you know? And it's just like, you can go to all the mentors that you want and stuff like that, but it's just like, more than likely, you're going to have to go to more than one. Over here, we get it all done right here. We talk about mental health. We talk about wealth. We talk about just all kinds of topics to where you don't have to absorb a whole bunch of words and you don't know which part of these words is actual information that you can use one day. You don't want to just store up somebody's fucking book and then only remember like the parts that like applies to your life and your business and your family and your money. You want somebody who's going to talk to you about, you know, like the real shit without all of the layman's terms. And that's what we do over here. I mean, can we use layman's terms? Yeah, we can. But more than likely, it's just going to be general. It's going to be general in all business, in all career, in all family, in love, in money. That's what we talk about over here. So go ahead. Tell your friends about me. Tell them about Yachty and this life over here. All right, y'all? Peace.